Morbid Facts, Part 636. Baseball legend Mickey Mantle lived much of his life believing he was destined to die young, since most men in his family had died of Hodgkin's disease before their 40s. This belief caused him to develop a self-destructive lifestyle filled with alcoholism, womanizing, and constant risk-taking under the assumption that he wouldn't live past 40. He routinely drank before, during, and after games, eventually destroying his liver to the point of requiring a transplant at age 63. The surgeon who performed the transplant later said that Mantle's body was in as bad a shape as any I've ever seen. Haunted by guilt, depression, and the belief that his family was cursed, Mantle spent his final years seeing visions of dead relatives and publicly warning his young fans not to look up to him. He later said that if he hadn't abused alcohol for so many years, he could have been twice the player he already was. Just before dying of liver cancer and cirrhosis in 1995, Mickey famously said, "If I knew I was gonna live this long, I'd have taken better care of myself." Morbid Facts, Part 635. In February of 1978, 23-year-old college student Stephen Kubaki totally vanished while cross-country skiing near Lake Michigan. His skis, poles, and backpack were found near the lake, and his footprints led onto the ice before abruptly ending, leading authorities to believe he had fallen through and drowned. But 15 months later, in May of 1979, Kubaki reappeared in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, approximately 700 miles away from where he vanished. He claimed to have no memory of the intervening time, stating he woke up in a field wearing unfamiliar clothes and carrying a backpack with maps and other items he didn't recognize. Kubaki never spoke publicly again, and the bizarre case remains unsolved. In 1559, King Henry II of France held a grand jousting tournament to celebrate his daughter's marriage, despite ominous warnings, including a prophecy that he would be pierced through the eye. During the friendly match, a lance splintered on impact, driving a wooden shard through Henry's eye and deep into his brain. Though initially conscious, he soon suffered excruciating pain, seizures, and neurological decline over 10 agonizing days before dying. His gruesome death shocked all of Europe and led to the downfall of jousting in France. This woman went to the absolute extreme just to cheat on her husband. In 2016, California woman Sherry Pipini suddenly vanished after going out for a jog. Just as her husband and 2 little kids were losing hope, 3 weeks later, Sherry was miraculously found alive by the side of a highway. She was tied up with a bag over her head, had a broken nose, was badly emaciated, and covered in bruises. Sherry claimed that 2 Hispanic women had abducted and tortured her, but she was never able to see their faces. The local community quickly rallied behind her, even offering donations to aid in her recovery. But behind the scenes, law enforcement was skeptical of Sherry's claims. They eventually found DNA on her clothing that matched her ex-boyfriend James Reyes, who had no choice but to admit that the story was a complete hoax. Pipini had faked a kidnapping, severely beat herself up, and lied to federal agents, all just to spend time with her ex-boyfriend without her family finding out. Her husband divorced her the day she was arrested, while she was sentenced to 18 months in prison in order to pay $300K to the state.